Hello, everyone. Welcome back to the Sukoon Project. I'm your host, Varun Kapur. Thank you for your incredible response to episode 1, where we explored the life and journey of Sushant Singh Rajput. We spoke about the boy from Patna, his rise through television and Bollywood, his love for science, learning, and spirituality. But today, I want to talk about something deeper. Not the actor, not the celebrity, not the public figure. I want to talk about the dreamer, the thinker, the student of life, the person behind the fame. Because if there is one thing that made Sushant different, it was this: he never stopped learning. And in today's world, that may be one of the most valuable lessons any of us can learn. So let's begin. The world doesn't need more followers, it needs more thinkers. When most people become successful, they become comfortable. When most people become famous, they stop growing. But Sushant seemed wired differently. Even after becoming a successful actor, he was still asking questions. Big questions. Questions about life. Questions about the universe. Questions about consciousness. Questions about purpose. And that is rare. Most people are focused on impressing others. He seemed focused on understanding himself. There is a powerful difference. The bucket list that inspired millions. One thing many people remember about Sushant was his famous bucket list. Not a list of things he owned, a list of things he wanted to learn. Think about that. Most people make shopping lists. He made learning lists. Learning to fly, understanding coding, studying astronomy, learning advanced physics, reading books, visiting places, exploring new ideas. What stood out wasn't the number of goals, it was the mindset behind them. He viewed life as an adventure, not a competition. And perhaps that's why so many young people connected with him. The curse of comparison. One of the biggest challenges young people face today is comparison. Someone has more followers, someone earns more money, someone looks better, someone has a bigger house, a better car, maybe a better job, and before we know it, we are living somebody else's life instead of our own. Sushant's journey reminds us of something important. Run your own race. A boy from Patna became one of India's most recognized stars without coming from a film family. He wasn't trying to be someone else. He was trying to become the best version of himself. And that's a lesson worth remembering. Why curiosity is a superpower. If I had to describe Sushant in one word, it would be curious. Curiosity changes lives. Curiosity creates innovation. Curiosity creates entrepreneurs. Curiosity creates scientists. Curiosity creates artists. Curiosity creates dreamers. The moment we stop being curious, we stop growing. And one thing I admire about Sushant is that he never allowed success to replace curiosity. He remained a student, always learning, always asking, always exploring. A message to students. If you're a student listening today, this section is especially for you. Many students believe that marks define them, that one exam defines their future, that one failure defines their worth. But life doesn't work that way. Some of the most successful people in history failed miserably, repeatedly. What made them successful wasn't perfection, it was persistence. Sushant himself changed careers completely. Imagine leaving engineering and deciding to become an actor. Imagine how uncertain that must have felt. But he trusted his journey. And sometimes That's all we can do. Trust the journey. Dreams require courage. People often talk about dreams. Few talk about courage. Dreams are easy. Courage is hard. Dreams happen in your mind. Courage happens in real life. Courage is leaving comfort. Courage is taking risks. Courage is facing rejection. Courage is starting all over. And courage is continuing even when nobody believes in you. Sushant's story reminds us that dreams without action remain wishes. Dreams with courage become reality. Success is more than money. One thing I hope listeners take away from the series is this: success is not just money. Success is growth. Success is fulfillment. Success is impact. Success is becoming who you were meant to be. Sushant inspired millions not because of what he owned, but because of what he was. People admired his curiosity, his intelligence, his humility, his willingness to dream, and those qualities are available to all of us. The legacy of a learner. When people remember great individuals, they often remember achievements. But I believe the most powerful thing Sushant left behind wasn't a movie. It wasn't an award. It wasn't a social media post. It was an example. An example of lifelong journey, lifelong learning, an example of dreaming fearlessly, an example of refusing to be limited by labels, such as actor, engineer, scientist, dreamer, student. He showed us that we don't have to choose one identity. We can evolve. We can grow. We can become more. 3 lessons to take into this week. Before we end today's episode, I want to leave you with 3 simple challenges. Challenge 1. Write down 3 dreams you've been postponing. Not someday, today. Challenge 2. Learn something completely new this week. A skill, a concept, a book, a language, anything. Challenge 3. Spend less time comparing yourself to others. Spend more time improving yourself. Small improvements every day create extraordinary results over time. As we conclude episode 2 of the Sukoon Project, I want you to remember something. The people who inspire us most aren't always the ones who achieve the most. They're often the ones who dared to dream differently. Sushant Singh Rajput reminds us that curiosity matters, learning matters, dreaming matters, and most importantly, becoming the best version of yourself matters. Thank you for joining me. If this episode resonated with you, please share it with someone who needs a little inspiration today. And I love to hear from you. What is one dream you've been postponing? Leave it in the comments. Let's inspire each other. Until next time, keep learning, keep growing, keep dreaming. This is Varun Kapur, and this is the Sukoon Project. Inspiring minds, touching hearts, finding Sukoon.